Hi, everyone, and welcome to Hot Off the Mess. I am your host, Samantha Bush, and today I just want to get right into it because I have a very special guest. He's one of my best friends. He's a New York Times bestselling author of the book Not All Diamonds and Rosé. He's Cashew's dad, Dave Quinn. How are you?
Those are my three favorite credits. The last being the most important, Cashew's dad.
So important.
We became dog parents, me for the second time, but right around the same time. I really was following in your footsteps of puppydom, of puppy
Yeah.
daddom. So I feel very connected to your beautiful Ruby, and I hope that you feel the same about Cashew.
I feel so connected to her. When I saw her running through that field on Instagram, that little tiny dog, oh God. She's, you got her maybe like 2 weeks after I got Ruby. Like we're
Yeah,
on like the same journey
yeah.
together.
I know. They're sisters. They're long lost sisters. I can't wait for them to meet, even though Cashew is like the size of Ruby's face.
Truly. Like
She's
she's
so
so
small.
small. Oh my God. And remember when she had her cast on?
Yes, my dog stubbed her toe when she was a puppy and basically broke a bone in her toe. She was
It
like,
was
she
so
had the
sad.
zoomies. Does Ruby get the zoomies, right?
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
she had the zoomies and she was running around and she stubbed her toe on the floor like an idiot. I
Like an
was
idiot.
I
You're like,
I
welcome to
was
fatherhood.
I was so upset. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, all of her puppy pictures are gonna be her in the stupid cast.
I know. And Dave and I are truly unhinged because he called me and he goes, I feel like you're the only person that's really going to get what I'm about to say. And I was like, what? And he goes, I need to find like a color palette for Cashew. And I was like, no, I get it. Like we can't just be having like red
Yeah,
colors. Like
no.
we gotta find a good color for her.
Yeah, she's all about the green. She
Oh,
settles
I
into
love the
that sage
green.
green. Yeah, it works for her. But
Yeah.
everyone thinks she's a boy, but I don't care. She looks beautiful. Her
People
like
think Ruby is a boy.
doesn't matter. Doesn't
And I'm
matter.
like,
Are you gonna put her in
no.
pink? No, no.
That's what you and I had this discussion. We were both like, you can't do pink.
Can't happen.
You can't do that.
It's too
So
cliche.
it's way too cliche. So let's get into the episode. We're going to talk about a lot today. First, I'm going to start with the things that I've been thinking about lately. And Dave, this is just something that has been really weighing on me. I've been rewatching Orange County.
Oh.
We, I think, as a society, are forgetting that Megan King Edmonds was married to a member of the Biden family at one point. And that's just a really wild to me that happened. So I've been thinking about that a lot. And
Yeah.
also, I'm the same age as Megan King when she discovered the cancer scam of the century.
What? Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That is fascinating.
And then speaking of Orange County, I do think that there's intense sexual chemistry between Vicky and David Bedour. I'm just
Okay.
saying, if you put those two in a room together, I don't know. I don't know what would happen. I think Vicky would
Like
get her little claws into him
like when they were face to face in that argument and they were both dressed
fighting.
as 70s characters.
Yeah. I was like, they're gonna fuck, I think. It's
Yeah, I can
incredible.
see it. It could have happened right then and
It could
there.
have happened. So yeah, those are just like some random things I've been thinking about. But let's get into the Bravo headlines from over the weekend. There is a feud brewing between Dorit Kemsley and Dana Wilkie, the aka $25,000 sunglasses woman. Because so there's this, and Dave, you're on Twitter. You're a heavy Twitter guy.
I'm a tweeter.
You're a tweeter. You know that there's like this fun like fandom rumor on Twitter about Dorit and Mauricio. Like it's just a joke. I don't think people are really taking it serious, but it's just fun to talk about. People are always talking about their chemistry together, their little moments, like when she kissed his shoulder on accident, like these weird things. And so Dana had posted over the weekend a meme someone had made called An Affair to Remember, and it featured Dorit and Mauricio. And it's just supposed to be funny, but I think Dana, of course, like takes it to another level. And Dorit had quite choice words for her.
Yeah, what did you think about her reaction there? She went in hard.
She went in so hard. It was like shocking, actually. I I was just like, you're really giving this a lot of like attention. She
I mean,
says,
Go.
Is there something wrong with you, woman? Or are you just miserable in your life? You have nothing better to do. You're definitely one of the thirstiest people I've ever seen. I guess it's just as simple as that. Kyle and Mo are our friends, and my kids call them uncle and auntie. Do you think this is okay for my kids to see when it's a disgusting lie? If this is the only way you can make a buck, then so be it. But at least have some decency and stop trying to peddle false narratives, especially when you know there is zero truth behind it and your whole motive is just to hurt people for no reason. It's sad, pathetic, and bound to bite you in the ass.
I mean, I love this side of Dorit. You have to remember that Dana Wilkie has had like a boner for Dorit and and PK for a while, right? I mean, she has been posting nonstop about them, especially around like the DUI and lawsuits and everything. And didn't they kind of blame Dana for the robbery because Dana had posted like their address on her social media as well? Remember that?
What? No.
Yeah, that happened.
Oh, that's okay. That adds like a whole new layer to it that I did
Yeah,
not realize was there.
I mean, I'm
Um,
sure that the whoever did that horrible thing to Tarit and PK, that robbery, didn't actually get that information from Dana's Instagram. I would
yeah.
assume that they're not Patreon subscribers, but but I do think that like they have been really pushing back at Dana a lot. It's like, what is your deal?
Like, what's the
And
obsession?
yeah, what is the obsession? I mean, Dana has kind of rebranded herself very much so as uh, as a what? What would you call her?
A justice seeker.
A
She
justice
just
seeker? That's what you're
she
calling her?
she
No.
she's seeking I don't know. It's weird. It's like because she went through lawsuits herself, I think she thinks that she's like the person that should be speaking on all these things. And it's like, Dana, no.
Yeah. I wouldn't call her a justice seeker.
Seeker.
Maybe a fame seeker. Maybe
Fame seeker.
yeah, I think that's
They
a big part of
overlap
it.
for
Yeah.
her.
I don't I don't know. I mean, she doesn't really seem to talk about her own experiences
No,
with,
you never.
you know, allegations of fraud and
I just
variety
will
of things
never
like that. But yeah.
forget when she had like the pamphlet in her foyer, like spread out on the table of like all about her son. She was like, he speaks fluent Spanish and French. And Kyle's like, what? Like, your
Yeah.
kid is 1 year old. She's crazy. She's a
She is
crazy bitch.
nuts. She is absolutely nuts in a fun way, but she
Oh,
I think
super fun, but also
embraces
like
that.
get 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 a life,
Yeah.
you know? I don't
I
know. I
mean,
mean, I
just
say that as I like have this podcast. Like,
yeah.
I should get a
You're like, get a
life.
life. Okay, next topic about the
Yeah, next
housewives that
topic,
I've spent
Ariana's
hours
DUI. Oh God, I'm such a loser. Okay.
Listen,
But
there's
yeah,
plenty of
so
room for us, all of us losers together in the club. So you're
yeah.
not alone.
So the next topic is Ariana Zolciak Biermann got a DUI
Oh my God. This was like my
over
entire
the
Saturday. I
weekend.
want to let you know. I spent all day on Saturday. Well, like all day. I
Researching.
spent like a good 3 hours reporting on this story. It was really
Well,
intense.
funny
Calling
you
the
say
jail.
that. You called the jail.
Yeah, well, not for work, not because I'm a
You're not a
justice
justice
seeker.
seeker.
No, I'm just a reporter doing his job.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I know. So, yeah, if you guys don't know who Dave Quinn is, I mean, he's like the guy over at People Magazine, very important. And he's the one that delivers all the news. You deliver all the hot news. You're calling jails.
I'm calling jails. I was
Yeah.
definitely calling jails over the weekend. Yeah, she was arrested on suspicion of driving under the influence of alcohol. Now, of course, you know that Ariana is just 20 years old.
Mhm.
So that would mean that she was underage drinking. She was booked at the Forsyth County Jail in Atlanta, or in Georgia,
Mhm.
excuse me. And in Forsyth County. And yeah, on the early hours of Saturday morning, I think it was like 12:57 was when the arrest happened, according to the public records that I was able to find. And then she was, charged with 3 misdemeanors: driving under the influence of alcohol, improper erratic lane change, and underage possession/purchase of alcohol. But she was released on a bond of $5,120. Sorry, I jumped
Wow.
right into reporting there.
You really did, but I appreciated that. And it was because she got into like a fender bender. They suspected, but so did she end up blowing? Is that the term?
I know what you meant by that, but when you ask about a Zolciak daughter
Oh my god,
blowing,
and
I'm
blowing
obviously gonna laugh thinking about
about
Brielle trying to
yes,
get tickets to see
to John Legend.
John Legend, but no. Apparently, the officer on the scene initiated an investigation for DUI, meaning that she had blown
Mhm.
into a breathalyzer. But I don't have any of that information. That wasn't given out. Now, her attorney, Justin Spiesman of Hawkins Spiesman Law Firm, told people that she didn't do that. She was, that she was not. She was unfairly arrested, essentially. That her
Interesting.
constant invocation that she was upset and anxious from the minor accident, the officer incorrectly concluded that she was impaired by alcohol. That was not the case. She wholly denies these allegations and intends to fight these charges because she is not guilty of them.
I mean, what do you think, Dave?
I mean, I have to say, if that's what she is saying, if she denies it, then you're, of course, we're innocent until proven guilty. But accusing police officers of incorrectly arresting you, that's a pretty big allegation. I'd be curious to see what
And
happened.
her boyfriend was also arrested, correct?
Right, Hudson McCleary, her on again, off again boyfriend, who's also 20.
Yeah. And I feel like I know Kim, and
Mm,
I know Kim is probably losing it.
yeah.
Because
I-
Kim is like always very much like she always gets a DD. Like that was always a thing. I mean, yeah, she did drink white wine in the front of her convertible and smoke cigarettes while listening to her song. But uh other than that, I can just picture like Croy being really upset with her, like,
mm.
and Ariana was like the one that I thought was like really gonna do like go to college and like I thought she had her head on straight and we lost her.
You think you lost her? I want to know what you mean by that.
Not because of this DUI, but like just in the sense of like she's turning into like a mini Brielle,
Mm.
like where it's like I don't know. I always had high hopes.
It's funny because like I understand what you mean by that, and it makes me laugh just because I listen was raised very differently, and I kind of wish that I had a parent like Kim who would just be like, here, why don't you just make money posting pictures of yourself on the internet and
Yeah.
making tons of cash for it? Like that sounds great to me.
And they have
I
like
don't
those
look down
beauty
on them.
boxes.
Yeah, good for them. They're making
I
their
know,
dough.
like get the coin because I do worry about their finances.
Mm.
Because they've got 30 kids and there's like, Croy's not in football anymore. Kim doesn't have the show anymore. Like, I would love for Kim to get a podcast.
I think she had a podcast for a bit, but
She did.
doesn't have one. She did, but
Dave,
doesn't have one now.
I need your thoughts on Teresa Giudice getting a podcast.
Okay,
Dave.
so my I can't stop laughing because that's my thoughts. I mean, I,
Uh,
I'm very interested in
I
hearing what's going to happen in this
listen,
podcast.
I'm not the most eloquent speaker. Like, I understand I have my flaws. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but Teresa Giudice doesn't really have a way with words.
I
Or
think
she
there's going to
does.
be there's going to be a lot of ingredients into
Says,
this
yeah.
podcast that are
Like,
gonna.
what are
It's
they
going to be
gonna talk
hilarious.
about?
You know that I love Teresa, so I'm all for it. But we're going to talk about, according to them, relationships and life and uh,
Love,
motherhood, right?
friendships.
Yeah, all the things that people don't listen to podcasts to hear. Really, they want to
Yeah.
hear from Housewives. I think if anybody looks at the success of Two T's in a Pod, like they want dirt, they want shit
Mhm.
talking, right? They want
Yeah.
behind the scenes information. Maybe they want strong opinions on the Housewives world, and I don't think
I don't think
Teresa's
we're gonna
really
be getting that from
going
Tree.
to do that. Yeah.
No.
But going back
Okay.
to Kim quickly, I just want to
Oh,
say
yeah.
I am one of these people that really believes that you should be able to drink when you're 16 and you should be able to drive when you're 21 or whatever. You know what I mean?
Like flip
Like the
them.
drinking. Yeah, I think it should be flipped, or 18, I suppose. 18 for drinking age, 21 for driving. Just because I feel like people are underage drinking, but they're not
Mhm.
learning their tolerance and
Yeah.
then get behind the wheel. Whereas if you build your tolerance and understand your tolerance, you're smarter about making decisions like driving. I just think that's just me. But
Wow. Dave Quinn, 2024.
also, 4-day work week. Just so you
Also,
guys know,
yeah,
that's
but
that's
also
my number one platform.
you do live in New York City.
That's true. I
So
have public
it's probably
transportation everywhere.
yeah.
Yeah.
Detroit has like none.
Well, there
It's
was that
you were here.
yes, you sent me on a bus that took me to downtown, a free little
Yeah.
train that
Yes.
you had never been on yourself.
No. It's called the Q line, and it's just like a trolley train type of thing that only runs like a mile. It's so stupid.
Because it was supposed to run into the rich neighborhoods, but the rich people
Yeah,
said
and they
no.
were like, "No, we're not doing that." It doesn't even run
Ah,
like into other parts of Detroit. Like it's so stupid. Don't even get me started. People are, you know what? This isn't a public transportation podcast. This is not
sorry.
Parks and Rec. Um, okay. So last week on Watch What Happens Live, Kathy Hilton, there was a little bit of a mix up between
Oh,
Precious and Lizzo. And so she spoke out and she commented, I believe, on Queens of Bravo's Instagram, saying that her vision is terrible and she couldn't even make out who Melissa Etheridge was. And
okay.
I mean, let us not forget that she did think Garcelle was Kyle at one point. That was shocking. Um, but I mean, what do you think, Dave? What
Well,
are your
first of all,
thoughts?
we need to just understand that she did not comment on Queens of Bravos. That her social media assistant did.
Oh,
She
I was
did
like,
not.
what?
She does not look at any of that. I can't
She can't
imagine.
type.
I received a DM from her account once, and I was like, oh my god, Kathy Hilton's DMing me, and it was like a social media assistant being like, hi, you published this photo of Kathy, do you mind switching it out for this one? This is Kathy's assistant. And I was like, oh my god.
I remember that. That was amazing. And
Oh
like
yeah, no, screen grabbed immediately.
her Instagram account, Kathy Hilton, liked a post of mine, but it was like an old photo. And I was like, okay, Kathy, this isn't Kathy scrolling on my Instagram.
No,
So
it's your
funny.
ex who now works for Kathy Hilton.
Yeah.
But yeah, but that was shocking. Listen, watching it all go down was insane.
Wild.
And of everybody that she could have possibly named, to name Precious, not even Gabourey Sidibe, Precious.
Precious.
Oh, and then knowing what we kind of know in the ether about accusations that were possibly made in Aspen about uh, some bigoted words that she may or may
Mhm.
not have said, I think is like all playing into this cringe factor. I mean,
Very
whoo,
cringe. It was a shock. I had Chris Lewis on the podcast last week, like
I
the day
listened.
after this happened. And we were just honestly, it was one of those moments where I was like, this is why I love Watch What Happens Live. Like, I get that it's cringe, I get that it's horrible, et cetera. But like, I love that stuff just because it's like live TV. Like, you feel like you're really watching it as it's happening. Like, it's really fun. But yeah, it was horrible.
No, I mean, listen,
Horrible.
I love mess. Don't get me wrong.
You
I'm
love
all
mess.
here for it. I love mess.
Yeah.
Shout out Emily. I love mess. So I was 100% here
Yeah.
for the craziness of it all, and that's when Watch What Happens Live is its best. I miss that show is not live 5 days a week like it used to
I
be.
know.
Like it misses something without that feeling of
That
oh, this
factor.
literally just happened
Yeah. And, like, you
live,
felt like
not
you were, like,
edited.
watching something, like, like, that not a lot of people maybe were tuning into, like, you were always getting, like, the extra, like, little tidbits or opinions.
Yes, and then
Like, when
watching
Kim
it blow up on
Zolciak used to
social.
call in
Oh my god, when
and
Kim
Nene.
Zolciak, I will never forget where I was. I can close my eyes right now and picture
Mhm.
myself in that apartment on that couch watching Nene Leakes curse out Kim Zolciak, who had called in to watch what happens. I mean,
Yeah.
these are iconic moments in television history for
It's
Bravo Cinematic
television
Universe fans.
history. It really is. Like, you can't like, they can't write this, you know?
No,
And
not at all.
I mean, I'm a little angry right now because I just read that they're going to be remaking Wizard of Oz, and I'm like, there's, like, so much original content that could be produced. Like, why are we doing that?
I did not know they were remake. This is news to me.
Yeah, I
What are
just
they
saw it on
doing?
Twitter. I don't know. Who
Who?
knows? I don't
Who's going to
know.
be in it?
I don't know.
I'm not interested in this.
All I saw was Popgrave tweeted it, and they, are the
Well,
most
they
trusted.
know that they know what's up. They know what's
They're
up.
trusted. I know.
Yeah, they're trusted. It's probably gonna be like Demi Lovato or something. I mean, I'm
As,
gonna
like,
watch
the
it, but I
Scarecrow?
just no as Dorit.
Oh, so you and I have a very passionate text exchange going on about Southern Charm.
I feel really.
Dave, let's
I
talk
feel.
about it. Let's talk about it. Let's work. Like, we are on the same page. This is not like a heated exchange, like where we're angry at each
Mm.
other. We're angry at the show.
Yeah, I feel really grateful to have you in my life for many reasons, but this
Oh.
is pretty much the top of it right now. See,
Mhm.
I have been very invested and connected to these housewives. I know a lot of them personally, so I often don't speak out about my feelings as a viewer, right? Because my feelings as a viewer are kind of skewed. I know a lot about what's happening behind the
Right.
scenes. I know the players. I recognize people's roles on the show. It feels very different. Southern Charm, I'm literally just watching as a viewer
Mhm.
and getting angrier and angrier and angrier each, not even each episode,
Each
each
passing day.
segment, each day since the episode. I'm
Scene.
still
Right.
annoyed about what I saw last week. I cannot believe that those two jabronis are on tour and people go and support them.
I
They
know.
are disgusting men that I just think are the
Flops.
worst. Flops.
Literal fucking flops. And I posted last week that they're apparently opening up a restaurant in New York City
Yes.
called, like,
Why?
I don't understand it. I'm like, this
No.
is go do that in Charleston. Like, you don't need to, like, spread your nonsense into New York. Like, also, they said that they were going to have, like, foie gras, right?
Mm-mm.
And you were like, that's, like, being banned.
Yeah, no,
They're
stop it. Just stop
idiots.
it. They're
Yeah.
this is what really bums me out about the two of them,
Mhm.
especially those two, who I don't even want to say their names.
I know.
But we
People
know,
are
you
my
know,
listeners know.
no, you guys know, is that they not only are they liked by many people in the
Mhm.
BCU, but the show is trying to convince me that like these people have perspectives that are worthy of listening to. And that
Mhm.
is just not true. That is just
No.
it is absolutely not true. When you have somebody like Queen Naomi trying to have a simple conversation with somebody who gaslights her, yells at her, talks down to her like she's a piece of garbage and storms out like a little baby as if this is like some disrespect to his current girlfriend. You're on a television show, sir.
Mhm.
She is your co-star.
Yeah.
Like enough of this. Enough of this nonsense of, oh, it would be so inappropriate for me to do my job. Then get off the
Yeah.
show. Leave the show. I don't want to see you.
It's frustrating because obviously people like them. I think they did take a really big hit on Summer House.
Mm.
The fact that Craig knows his Q score makes me sick to my stomach actually, because that's just not that's like you're in too deep. Like, if you're on
Yeah.
podcasts and you're talking about your Q score rating, like, that's a huge red flag to me about, like, his relationship with Paige, his relationship with the guys on the show, like, just him in general. I just don't fucking like it. Um, and there's a lot of hate about Naomi that I just honestly, I don't get. It's one of those things like with New Jersey where I feel like I'm watching a different show. And there's like this revisionist history of the Naomi and Craig relationship, in my opinion.
Yeah.
He likes to say, like, she didn't support my dreams. Sir, you smelled like Bud Light. You had a sewing machine in the living room, and you couldn't even finish making a pillow for Patricia. Like,
One
why are we
pillow.
pretending that, like, he's, like, really doing all of this stuff and, like, he was really passionate about it and making tons of pillows and making Cameron her little bear thing for her daughter? That never happened. He didn't
No.
fucking make anything.
And then
And
he hasn't made
Naomi,
any of those
Queen
pillows on his.
Naomi, is getting her master's degree, comes home to this bum, and she's like, "What are you doing?" Like, you stay out till 4 in the morning, you come home and you pretend that you sew. I would be furious. And so there's this crazy revisionist history of like, she just like didn't support me in my dreams. Sir, you barely run your own company. Let's stop pretending that you're Martha Stewart living. You have people doing this for you. Dave, I'm enraged because I'm so tired of these men, these mediocre white fools failing upwards. I'm tired of it.
Sam, they're
I
going to
don't
open a restaurant.
understand.
They're going to open a restaurant. Have you ever
In
seen
New
them?
York City.
Have you
They don't
ever
have a
seen them?
kitchen.
They don't have kitchens in their houses.
They don't have a fucking kitchen. And you're telling me that you're going to open up a restaurant?
I mean,
What?
this one can't even get his beer line distributed anywhere.
Dave,
Like, what are we talking about here?
When you texted me about Austin moving out of his parents and how he like took furniture, it's like you are incapable of finding your own furniture.
Yeah, he took
You have to
furniture.
like go and take your parents' old shit.
Sorry, that's weird.
It's
That's
fucking weird. And I'm just so tired of them. And I'm tired of Bravo like shoving them down our throats, like putting them on 3 different shows all year round. I literally 4 seasons of Craig and Austin. And I'm tired.
It's too much. And no, it's absolutely too much. And there's so many layers to what's too much about it. So you just mentioned the Craig of it all. I mean, we haven't even talked about the fact that, I'm sorry, those pillows are ugly. They're ugly. I don't like any of them. I don't like any of those pillows. Sorry. They're not cute. But that being said, good luck on your business. I'm glad people like them. People, can go buy the pillows, whatever they need to do. Mm-hmm. Let's just talk about the misogyny, the way that they talk about women, the disgusting way that they treat these women. Austin, who, first of all, the show is trying to get me to believe that Olivia and him are dating, which is not true. I'm sorry. Yeah. I don't believe that for a second.
We'll get there because I also have thoughts.
Yeah, I believe she was cast on the show, and I believe they were like, oh, maybe you and Austin. But this dude has such a hard-on for Madison. He can't breathe without thinking about Madison. Mm-hmm. I think I tweeted one day, I was like, nobody, Austin, Madison. Like, he literally just talks about her all the time.
Yeah.
And he creates this narrative that she was so poisonous to him and, oh, she gaslit him. What are you talking about, dude? You're gaslighting all of us. She did not treat you like that. You are a scumbag. You were sleeping with like 4 other different women. You had that threesome in your house. You cheated on her. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I know. And what I find so odd about this Olivia Austin fake relationship we have going on.
Fake relationship. Call it fake.
It's so fake. And I say that because we see them on one date and one group outing. And everyone is asking, so what's going on with you and Austin? Are you guys dating? I'm like, they literally have no chemistry. They have hung out twice, maybe. Like, this is not a real thing. And there's something about Olivia that I just fucking hate. She triggers something in me. Like, she just reminds me of like every bitchy, rich, mean girl at my high school who has like no personality, but is only like well liked by all the cool kids because she has money and is pretty and blonde. Like, that's it. Like, she just triggers something in me, and her mom is a fucking Karen. I just know it. Like, the way that like her mom and her were being catty in the kitchen together, I was just like, what? And then what I really don't get is and I said this a few weeks ago, I think, is like, she didn't invite Vanita because she didn't want drama, but yet you invite your or you invite your quote unquote new boyfriend's ex that he can't stop talking about to the party.
Yeah, that makes absolutely no sense. By the way,
no fucking sense.
Let's not forget that on their first date, he told her that he's not ready to commit to her and wants to slow down. Mm-hmm. Like, you're literally at your first date. This is all fake and all bullshit. I don't believe
All
a second
bullshit.
of it. And you're totally right about her parents, which reminds me also of Austin's parents, who, where the fuck do they get off talking shit about Madison? Like, get out of here. Get out of here. I don't want to hear from you. I don't want to hear your thoughts on Madison. Why don't you talk about what a scumbag your son is? Why don't you talk about what he did to on Winter House and Summer House? Why don't you address that? Because that's all happens. Let's talk about what he did to Sierra.
Yeah.
No,
And
we're not going to mention
Lindsay.
it. And Lindsay.
Like, and I just don't care about him moving. Like, all the storylines, I'm like, this show used to be magnificent. It was must-watch TV. It was old Southern drama. Like, you had like Thomas Ravenel, and you had like, you know, the Catherine stuff, and the Craig and Naomi, and the Cameron and the Whitney. Like, I liked all that. And then I'm like, what am I watching right now? I'm watching what?
We need Cameron back. I mean, Cameron
has to come back.
So essential to this show. We don't recognize, because she keeps these guys in line, and she would have called them out on all of their nonsense. But the problem is so much deeper than that. And you're exactly right. I mean, what are we watching? How about the fact that Paige has the audacity to tell Craig that she doesn't want him spending time with Naomi when she's on a show with Andrea
and Carl.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I forgot about them, so thank you.
You're welcome.
Give me a break.
It's because it's like, Paige, like, you know the world that he's living in. Like, you know he has to film with her. Maybe do you think she's just saying that for the show, like, to create like friction?
Probably.
Do you think they're a real couple?
Yeah, I think they're a real couple, but yeah, I think they're a real couple, but I'm not really sure what the end game here is.
I bet they get engaged in the fall.
I mean, it would be good for ratings, right? That seems to be the plan. I don't know. I just have such a hard time with him. I have a hard time. The performance at the reunion last year was so disgusting to me. The fact that he and everybody was just talking so down to Madison, like she was some tramp or some whore, when she had done, in my perspective, absolutely nothing wrong. These jabronis, again, sow their seed wherever the heck they want, and we applaud them for it. We think it's hilarious. It's so great that Shep can't commit to a woman. Ha ha ha. Like, he's going to be a bachelor forever. Isn't that great? It's like, and yet you sit here and call Madison a whore for going on dates with other people.
Well, I mean, last season, remember during the reunion, Shep was talking about how he cheated on Taylor, and then Leva was like, you guys really romanticize cheating. Like, it's really weird, actually, but only men can do it. And
she was the voice.
It's so frustrating. It's so frustrating to watch over and over and over again, and there be no, like, I want new men. I don't like this Pringle person. Dave.
I like Pringle. I know, but Pringle's not really around. He's not around. I just think he's handsome.
He's very handsome. I just think it's
weird that he, like, you can tell.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, and the thing is like, imagine if any woman on Bravo acted like how Craig acted at that reunion, wasted and fucking out of his mind.
Yeah, there would be calls for her to be fired.
People would go crazy.
Yeah, people would go absolutely nuts. But you're right. That I forgot about that level line, and it was so dead on. And the reason I forgot about it is because nobody seemed to carry any weight to that. That was not something that the universe of Bravo fans thought was important enough to quote back to them over and over again in the way that they quote back all these horrible things about, the Fox 5 or whatever the heck they're called. It's like, I want that energy for the guys of Southern Charm. That's what I want.
And I see a lot of hate about Leva and Venita on Southern Charm. I find it weird.
They're icons.
I think Leva is one of the most beautiful people on Bravo.
It's ridiculous.
I think she's so stunning. And I can't wait for her new show that she's getting. Because hopefully she can just like become like a boss bitch. Not that she isn't one now, but like on the show, and just get off Southern Charm, because these people don't deserve her. Truthfully.
Well, I love all the women of Southern Charm.
All of them.
Except right now I'm side-eyeing Taylor because
talk about it, Dave.
Well, because like she and Shep broke up, right? And
did they?
Yeah, they're no longer together.
Oh, okay.
according to why? Do you know anything else that I don't?
I've just heard that they're just doing that for the show. Like, they're claiming that they broke up for the show to get, like, better ratings so
Oh,
people would tune in and, like, see how they, like, the fallout of their relationship.
well, that's interesting.
But I don't know.
I broke it at People
I know you
because
did.
I received uh, some pretty clear information from a source that it was over, but maybe I'm being played too. I don't know. I will say it was very disappointing to see her go on Watch What Happens Live. And when asked if there was anyone in the Bravo cinematic universe she was attracted to, she chose Tom Schwartz. Like, what is going on?
I know.
Sam, what is happening here? What is going on? What is with these women?
When I saw
Tom
that clip,
Schwartz?
I go, I like really had to sit with it for a second. I was like, Tom Schwartz? I was like Tom of Schwartz and Sandy's? Bubba? Like, what? And it's so weird because I see it all over Instagram. People are like shipping them. They're like, oh my God, that would be amazing. Get them together,
What?
blah, blah, blah. I'm like, he is 47 years old and has commitment issues and just is a mess. Like, Taylor deserves a lot better than that.
And that's literally why she's leaving Shep, because he's a mess. So what is it? Is it these girls see red flags in the shape of hearts? Like, what is it?
Yeah. I just think, I got a lot of messages because I posted about it the other day and people were saying her picker is off, a la Patty Stanger. And I think that that's true. But I also maybe think that she was like put on the spot and she was just like, who's a cute guy on Bravo?
Well,
Like, I mean, like Schwartz is a cutie, but
yeah, but no. Who would you have picked if you were in her shoes? And we're not going after married men here. We're not, pulling a Porsche. Who would you pick?
The thing is, like, the men that aren't married on Bravo are horrible. You know what I mean? Like right now, my number one house husband is Ross from Atlanta.
Okay.
I would bust it open for Ross. Like, he does something to me. He gives me like younger, hotter, more powerful Peter energy, and I was really attracted to Papa Smurf. But who's single on Bravo? That's a man.
The number one answer that you don't know because you don't watch the franchise, but it's Captain
the captain.
Glenn. It's Captain Glenn, not the Australian captain's very attractive too, but Captain Glenn from Below Deck Sailing Yacht. I know you think I'm crazy. He's like a little short. I think he's a baldy, but he's just if you watch the show,
he's got a good personality.
He's got a great personality. He is a hottie and
wow.
a catch. He's a total catch. No wife, no ex-wife, no kids.
I'm trying to, like, there's just no one. Who's your favorite house husband? Like, who would you pick to be with?
I mean, Evan Goldschneider.
Oh my God.
That was easy.
Evan is a dream.
But I also Ross know him, really but I mean, I adore him. Yeah, no, Ross is there. I also would say
a little juicy.
What's her name? Oh gosh, she's like a friend of the season in Atlanta. I'm blanking on her name right now. It starts with an M.
Mariletta?
No, maybe is that it? Anyway, she's on the trip right now with her husband.
Yeah.
Like silver fox, this like white. Did you not see him?
Dave.
Yeah, he's pretty handsome.
Are you fucking with me? You're fucking with me. Thank God. I was like,
no, I'm not fucking with you. Did you not see him? I thought he was kind of cute. Bowser.
Dave, he is. I feel like I'm entitled to compensation just for having him on my screen. He makes me sick.
Wow.
You need to see him again. I don't know.
Was I just looking down at my computer the whole time?
You were looking at a picture of John Slattery, and somehow you thought he ended up on Real Housewives of Atlanta. Because that is
all right. Maybe I'm wrong.
Truly. Right. Wow. I'm speechless. I really thought you were fucking with me. Sounds like there's no way he's being serious because that man is sick. Okay.
No, I guess I just didn't see him in the right light. I'll go back and look. I trust your instincts.
Yeah,
But
it's bad.
I
Because she's a
still
beautiful
stick with
woman.
she's beautiful. I still stick with Evan and Juan Dixon as a solid number 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you have a third?
Casey Hansen. I mean, I don't want to be cliche and say like Maurizio or Joe Gorga. Like those are cliche options for me.
Yeah, those are like the good old standbys.
Yeah, I feel like there has to be.
I'm very attracted to PK, for being honest.
What?
Yeah.
Before the teeth or after the teeth?
Obviously after. But honestly, I probably would have taken him before.
Wow.
I think he's funny. Like, he makes me laugh. Like, I don't know. I think he's got a certain air about him that I enjoy.
Yeah, he's not it for me. You know
I'm
what?
really
I'll
all
go.
over the map.
It's all right. That's fair. You know what I'll
Ross,
do?
PK, Evan Goldschneider.
Right, you are all over the map. I'm going to go with Evan number 1, Juan Dixon number 2, and again a little bit cliche, but still an oldie but a goodie. I'm going to say Eddie Judge.
Oh,
He's just
Eddie.
so attractive. Yeah, I love Eddie. I love Eddie. I love Eddie. You know
Eddie.
I love Eddie. He's
I
like
know.
a great human.
He is such a sweetheart, and like him and Tamara are so hot together.
They're so. I'm not here. I'm going to tell you
hot.
a little secret, a little life memory. One day I went to go see Tamara. She told me to meet her in her hotel room, and I knocked on the door, and Eddie Judge answered the door wearing just black boxer briefs.
What?
That's it. He was just in boxer briefs.
And
He's like, "Hey, come in." And he gave me a hug in the black boxer briefs. No, I don't know. I don't know how I'm alive right now either. I think I died.
I would have like malfunctioned.
I was like, oh, hey. Anyway, I close my eyes and replay that moment often. I've told Tamara too. It's no surprise.
Wow, I love that. Good for her. I love that for Tammy.
Don't you wish sometimes that your eyes were like camera, like screens that you could just like rewind?
Yeah, like you could have like a slideshow of like, yeah, we're like only just a couple years away.
Yeah.
Okay, so we took a big detour, but let's talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta. What are your thoughts on this season? What's going on?
I'm enjoying it. I love the Atlanta women. I'm not really enjoying Marlo as a peach holder in the way that I think the buildup, made everybody feel like I would. Simply because, I mean, listen, in our housewives, we look for a few things, right? We look for delusion sometimes. We look for hypocrisy, right? It's all going to be there. So in many ways, she checks all the boxes, but her ability to kind of start drama over seemingly no actual reality of feelings, like simply just doing it for the camera time, which is something that I think she got used to for years when she was just a friend of, right? She had to come on, she had to do a job, she wanted to get that paycheck, and therefore new controversy would get her there. She hasn't really settled into being a peach holder. There's a quiet confidence that comes with it, where you know that you don't have to at every moment be the shit stirrer. And she doesn't seem to understand that. So she'll just literally say anything and then get wildly offended when somebody says anything that's a little bit true about her, which is, again, we look for the hypocrisy, we have fun with it, but it is kind of annoying as somebody who was really hoping that she would be delivering something different.
I think that is what a lot of people are feeling. And I never thought about it in that way of like when she was a friend of, she had to really work for screen time. So she would say like outlandish things and she would go there and like, be a Marlo. And now that's not really working for her because this is like a cast of women who are apparently friends. The chemistry seems a little bit off. I think there needs to be like one more girl added or something. Like we're missing like a bounciness. Like I miss like I gotta say, I miss a little Portia bounce, a little giggle, a little here and there. I do appreciate that Marlo is putting Candy to work. I love Candy, but I do think like, come on, we gotta interact. Like Marlo's at least like making something happen. Because other than that, we have nothing. We have Drew and Ralph reading a book or writing a book.
But you know that I'm not. The Drew and Ralph of it all is just talk
Too
about
much.
inauthentic. I really struggle to find any authenticity in either of them. So I struggle with them. I understand the criticism of and the feeling that Candy is actually working now, but I kind of feel like she always has been working. I think that she always shows up. I think that she's always engaged in things that are happening between the women. I think she's just never challenged,
Right.
like because she
Okay.
has real friendships with people, but she's still doing her job. Like she's still doing the job, which is to, deliver conversation and deliver storyline. She always has something happening in her life, a new business that she's doing, or, an issue with her and her
Mhm.
ex, or her and Todd, or her and the mom. And, there's always like a bit of a story happening with Candy. We're just seeing Candy, at the
We're
best that we
seeing
like her. Yeah, we're
yeah.
seeing the lies, the lies, the lies. Like we're seeing the
Yeah, you're
Candy that we
seeing
all
I'll
love.
drag you in this bitch.
Right. Which is,
Yes.
I love that Candy.
I do too. And I think I just needed that from her a little bit because, like, the Todd stuff, I just don't really care about. Like, the Mama Joy
Mm.
stuff isn't interesting to me anymore. Like, but you know who's having a great season is our girl Kenya Moore.
Oh, she's having a great season.
She's thriving. She's lighter than ever.
Why
She
do you
is
think that is?
footloose and fancy free. Um, I think she really came off of Ultimate Girls Trip. I think she came back from that vacay and she was feeling good. Portia's gone, Cynthia's gone. Mark is I don't know where Mark is. I don't know.
He's
I'm
here in
loving
Brooklyn
it.
somewhere.
I'm loving her that I love her every season, but this season especially. She's really great.
Yeah, I see what you mean about Ultimate Girls Trip, and I've seen a lot of people say Ultimate Girls Trip really changed Kenya on the show. That she's like very much lighter after that. I really do think it's Portia. I think Portia not being there is the first time we've ever seen her on the show without Portia. I
Mhm.
think Portia and her never liked one another, and I think Portia refused to ever acknowledge, the role that Kenya played, and was very they were always against one another, refused to kind of even give a little when Kenya tried to give a little. And I think that that's like a toxic energy to be around all the time. They were toxic towards each other.
Yeah.
So now that Portia's gone, I think Kenya feels a lot freer right now to just really be herself. And Girls Trip may have been the first time that the audience started viewing her as somebody who was fun.
Fun.
But I think that Kenya's always really been there.
Mhm. We just have never really seen her
Yeah,
as
I
Portia.
mean, she was having fun in a different way. She was having
Right.
fun dressing up as Phaedra and
Yeah.
walking around. Like that was fun for her and for
Yeah,
me,
and
quite
I
frankly.
love her so much. I think she's so stunning. But oh my god, Dave,
Yeah.
you and I have been saying this. And we were in the minority. This was a hot take back in the day.
Yeah.
And I think people are starting to come around is Sheree is a flop.
Oh my God.
Listen,
I
maybe
haven't
not a
been saying
flop.
that in the same way that you've been
Maybe
saying
not a
that.
flop, but like it's the buildup of her coming back. And it's the same thing that happened last time where she came back and like didn't really do much. It's the same thing.
Yeah, what
And
I've
I'm
been
like,
saying is not that she's a
yeah,
flop, but that
she's not a flop.
she's is that she's been turned the audience has turned on her multiple times. And I've been saying the audience cannot fight for her to come back and then turn on her again. So
Right.
you want Sheree, here's Sheree,
This is
stand by
Sheree.
Sheree. Okay. I think that when Sheree is challenged, she's really great. I
Mhm.
mean, it seems that I don't know if you deducted this from your armchair investigations, but it really seems that she's sitting directly next to Andy at the reunion.
I don't get it.
I mean, but that mean that bigger things are coming down the pike for Sheree.
Okay, well, we'll see.
Oh, mumbles. I don't know. I guess The way that his Instagrams played out, he was talking directly to her, and it seemed that
Maybe
she
we
was
get a
very
fashion
close.
show.
Maybe. I mean, the fashion show is what ends the season apparently, but maybe
Right.
that
We
would be
do
a
get
big
an
part.
Apollo scene.
Oh, I know, I'm excited about that.
I
And Peter,
can't
I think,
wait.
was there too.
Mm. Peter and Ross in the same place.
Oh my goodness, it's
I'll
surprising you
be,
didn't make it.
yeah. Oh
You'll
my
be
God.
rewatching that over and over
My invite
again.
must have been lost in the mail.
But no, I do think
Devastating.
that Sheree, is somebody who needs, you know, she flip flops a little bit during the season. You need to kind of stay on her, but she's good TV when she's working
Oh,
hard.
when she's working. Like when
Yeah,
she first walked in on the premiere, I was like, we're fucking back. Like Sheree is bouncing in. She's got no makeup on. She just signed her papers and she was like, I'm working today. I
yeah,
gotta go clock in. That's the Sheree I love. The Sheree that's just kind of like giving us confessionals. I'm like, can we get in the mix? Can we
right.
do something? You know, I do really enjoy her and Kenya together. I think they're really fun. Um, that feels
They
like a
crack me up.
nice little friendship, you know. Um,
Yeah, it does. It does feel like there needs to be one more girl. And listen, I mean,
mhm.
we have to get our brains around the fact that Atlanta is not going to be what it was. The heydays of Phaedra and Nene and Kim, like those are gone. We're not
Gone.
going to
It's a
see
different
all of that.
show.
Yeah, it's a different show. And I
Hmm.
think they've done a good job of bringing it into what it is now. I think the new housewife is great. Um,
Sanya,
yeah, I think she's
love
great.
her. I think she's a great
I,
addition.
I think she's been delusional this entire trip, making
Mm.
everything
This
about
trip
herself.
honestly sounds like hell.
Yeah, it's horrible. I would not want to
I'm
go on it,
sorry. I
but
would be pissed.
I would be real upset if you took me to Jamaica and made me go to see your house that you
I,
grew up in.
I
I
know.
don't
Well,
care.
here's the thing.
I have to go to the track. No, thank you.
No fucking thank you. If
I have to
I
go
go
to
on a
your
vacation, I don't want to have to be in the car for 2 hours at 8 a.m. to go to your
absolutely not.
house and then go to a track and watch Drew tumble. And and then what I don't know. Then her and Ross were doing that like I fit thing. Like I'm just like, what is this trip?
Sam, they were eating ice
This
cream at
is
like 9
where
in the morning.
I know this is where Married to Medicine, like I love their trips because it's all about the couples. Like they really make it about like couple vacation trips. Like
Mhm.
most of the girls, like they don't take trips for like work. So this is like boring to me. I'm like, I don't want to watch you do iFit and run on a
Right.
track.
And it's very strange that we've had these men there the entire time. It's been a couples trip, but there's been no talk about the couples or
No
relationships or
talk. I
like this
know.
is where you need Cynthia Bailey to make them play a game where they have to like pass something between their legs. Like she was
Yeah.
good at this stupid shit.
Yeah. Where it was like, okay, tell me right now what your least favorite thing about your partner is. We
Yeah.
got to be honest. It's like, okay.
Yeah, that's what
You
I
know,
missed that. We need
that we
that.
need that. We need that energy because this like everyone's getting along a little too much in my opinion. Like in that way, like the couples, I mean. The girls are
Mm.
fighting. And when Ross stood up
But
at
I
the end of
can't.
the episode and yelled at everyone, I
You were
enjoyed
turned
that.
on by that?
I was so turned on. I was like, "Oh, yeah." I was like, "Stand up for your girl." Like, I was really enjoying it. I don't enjoy Drew or Ralph. She's such a I literally wrote down in my notes, Drew is a loser. Um,
Oh my god.
because here's the thing about Drew, and I say this every fucking week. She has no self-awareness, so, like, she doesn't get that like, we can all read through the lies, but she says them like as like they're truths.
I
Like,
disagree with you. I think she has
her
full self-awareness.
you
I think she's
think?
fully aware of exactly what she's trying to do, and she's hopeful that you are not. She is
Oh,
putting on a very good, or what she thinks is a very good performance. No
she's
one
a
is a bigger
she's a
Drew
mess.
Sidora fan than I am. I have talked about how much I love Step Up more times than I ever to admit. If you listen back to podcast appearances I've made in the past, I constantly talk about Step Up. She is great in Step Up. But
Yeah.
boy, have I been disappointed by what I've seen on this show. It's just not clicking for me. It's not
No, and
clicking.
Ralph is so slimy and weird and writing this book about adopting but not adopting, and he's a dad, but he's not a dad, and it's like, what are we doing? And Drew is upset, but not upset. I'm like, I
Why
don't
don't
care
you
about
write a
this.
book about what happened when you went to Tampa for 4 days? Because I still don't know the truth.
God,
Why
I
don't
need
you
a
write a book
Dateline
about that?
special.
I know. Let's see that. I mean, we've
Like,
done the Erica
where
Jane
was
one. We've done the
Ralph
Jen
Pittman?
Shah. Well, that's what I want to know. Look it
Mm-hmm.
up. I'll be a talking head.
Yeah, I'd be like,
That
tramps in Tampa. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it would be really juicy.
and ABC News Hulu
Someone,
exclusive.
yeah, like someone knows what he was doing.
Yeah, someone knows because they cashed the checks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They got the
Yeah,
money
yeah.
that he passed on.
Yeah.
And by the way, I also loved. I know this is last week's episode, but I also loved when he was like, I have to introduce my wife to my publisher because it really went left last time with my assistant. It's like,
It's very
no,
different, Ralph.
she doesn't think that every single woman you
Yeah.
talk to, it's only when the woman is texting him, I'll give you a massage, that she
Yeah.
has questions.
Yeah. He's a fucking moron. Like, he just is so narcissistic and just,
Did you hear that?
cashew.
Cashew wanted to make an appearance. Whenever
Sorry, guys.
somebody is like
Cashew
in
just
the
came on the
hallway,
screen.
whenever someone's in the hallway, she just gets annoying.
Oh my God. She's so cute. Okay. Well, that's a perfect way to end. Dave, tell everybody where they can find you, read your articles, your breaking news.
Guys, you can follow me on social media at 9daves, NINEDAVES. I'm on Instagram and Twitter. Sam, I'm mostly in your text messages.
You are. You are. And I love it. I love you there.
I'm so sorry.
No, I love it.
All I want to talk about is
It'll be like
this
3
shit with
a.m.
you.
and you're like, Austin's getting a dresser from his parents.
Yeah.
I'm like, good morning.
Nothing enrages me more. Listen, I love you so much. I'm so proud of all of your success.
Oh my God.
You know, I'm your biggest fan. It is an honor to be here to ever chat with you on this podcast. So thank you so much for having me. And I'm so sorry to all your listeners who had to listen to me yap about those two jabronis over and over and over again. They're herbs. They're total herbs. Like literally loser.
Literally herbs. Okay, well, thank you guys so much for listening, and I will talk to you guys all on Friday with a brand new episode of Hot Off the Mess. And please rate, review, and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. Please only give us 5 stars. That'd be great.
Yeah, and don't ever tell me what you're writing about me on the internet because I don't want to know. I have such a fragile ego. If you have something to say about me,
if you have something to say, honestly, just DM them to me. You don't need to rate. You don't need to take it to the reviews. Anyway, I will see you guys all on Instagram and Twitter. Bye.